Okay, let's do a quick little video here. It's 2/23, November 16th. No new entries, no new trades or anything, but I actually was looking at AVAX. AVAX USDT. I'm looking at it here on Bitfinex. And I was also looking at it here on, what is this, Binance. So, it seems to be abnormally strong compared to the other coins like BTC, for example. But if you notice, let's look here at the order book here. So we got it's pushing up to $100, and I think the all-time high is like 101.68. And if you look at the order book, look how many we have for sale right at the very high, right? So we have 5,000 at 101, and we had another close to 3,000 at 102, and another 1.4 thousand at 3, right? So what we have is somebody's trying to sell a bunch of AVAX right at the very top, right? Why would they do that? Is because they are planning on selling to the person that's short that has to cover, right? So anyone that shorted this with a stop at highs will be forced to buy, right? So if you're a whale in the AVAX market and you have millions and millions of dollars of AVAX, you have to find someone to buy that from you, right? And it's hard, selling $1 million of AVAX would drop the price pretty quickly. So in order for them to do that efficiently without dropping the price, they're going to want to sell to the person that's getting forced to buy, right? So that is exactly why you see over 10,000 AVAX for sale right at all-time highs, right above it. In fact, if they believed so strongly that AVAX was going to go higher and higher, why would they be selling at an all-time high, right? Why wouldn't they just pull their orders and let this thing just go, and then they'll slowly peel it off? But again, nobody can guarantee what's going to happen here, but what I know for sure is that someone's looking to unload, over $1 million of AVAX right as the second it makes a new high, right? And so they're going to do that by, when people are forced to buy at all-time highs, or they're getting stopped out, they're just going to let them have it, So that's how you unload a big position without affecting without affecting the price. And so it's done that a lot, actually. So it'll pull back, it'll run up, it'll stop people out, and so they sell it to you, they'll bring it back, they'll stop you out, they sell it to you, and it's doing it again, they'll sell it to you. So basically that's how you unwind a huge position over and over again, especially if it's not a very liquid market, right, and you can move it around, is you just bring it up, and as soon as you're able to unload your position, then you don't even care anymore. You can let it come back down. But if you have enough money to move these things around, that's exactly what I would do. Right? So I would not be surprised to see AVAX take out the all-time high. All 10,000 of those coins will get purchased at all-time high, and then it'll pull back again. Right? Just a few minutes later here, we continue. AVAX is pushing all-time highs here. Still sitting on about, roughly 10,000 that they're going to unload here as it makes a new all-time high. They're following it up with a bid, which is, again, what I would do. You're raising the bid, you're forcing it up as it's getting pushed into your sell orders. So 4,000 on the offer, and then we have another 6,000. Well, 4,000 on the offer, and then another 3,000. So basically looking for all this to get cleared out. Right? They're going to want to clear out all their inventory. Which would do so, looks like, as we get into the 106, above 105. So buys coming in. Looks like we made a new all-time high on AVAX. They're looking for buyers, that's for sure. If they don't find them, then they're just going to sell it down. Probably quickly. As it made that all-time high, I did not see a lot of buy orders flutter off. You know, like buy stops. So they're either going to have to keep trying to push it higher to find buyers, or they're going to have to let it go here on the and start selling it. So it may take a little bit of time here, but I do think they're going to push through these orders here, these 4,000, 3,000, 1,000. We will find out. I'll pause it. I do find it interesting that as AVAX made a new high here, that it actually didn't find very many buyers. It wasn't even enough to, you know, there was no stops up there. Tells you that there wasn't a lot of people short potentially. They didn't find very many buyers at all. It kind of just poked through. Nothing happened. That's probably not what they wanted to see, is my guess. So I don't know. Let's sell some AVAX, and you know, let's go short some AVAX. It may need to come down. I mean, if it consolidates sideways here, spends a lot of time sitting here at highs, basically is kind of, think of it as like recharging. It's kind of trying to gather up some more shorts in there to give it some fuel to be able to push through that. So I wouldn't want to see that. You know, if it kind of just does this little squiggly thing here, and then it may get enough fuel to be able to push through, something like that. Otherwise, you know, if you had millions of this stuff, you know, it could find its way back down pretty quickly if they were trying to get out. So I wouldn't want to see either one of these. Well, I wouldn't want to see this scenario if I was short. I'd rather see something like this, as they're pretty much running for the doors, because they didn't get what they wanted to see, which was, let's see if we can find buyers at highs so I can unload some. So far they didn't find them, and it looks like the offers are kind of chasing their way down just a little bit. Some of the bids got pulled too, it looks like, because there was like about 11,000 on the bid here not too long ago. Now we're down to 5. We've got 9,000 on the offer here, still kind of following it down a little bit, but we'll see. That's the thing about order books, that things can change quickly, but again, I think either sideways, then a higher push, or we just break down because there wasn't anybody willing to buy it up here. So I think it was funny too with this kind of, you know, these kind of cryptos where, I mean, there's, you know, my guess is that pretty much the same people play both sides of the book, right? So a lot of these big orders are also the same person potentially on the other side, or a mixture of a small group of people. So, you know, sometimes they'll show big bids or big orders to try to, you know, make you feel confident, or like show, you know, give you the impression that there's a lot of people looking to buy, when in reality it's, you know, it's the opposite. They're looking to sell, and they're just merely trying to bring the price up. So, but again, it was notable to me that as it made a new, you know, it made a new high by not by a lot, what, 101.68, and made a new high at 101.97, and it found not much. Let's go to a shorter time frame and see. So is this the new? That's the all-time high there, 101.97. No, look at that. Look at that volume bar right there. There were no buy stops at highest that triggered. No buy stops whatsoever. So it either needs to totally recharge, meaning go sideways and, you know, gather in some, you know, get some people to short it, so it can try again. But look at, I mean, the all-time high obviously this is 1 minute, but the bar that it made a 1 minute, I mean, almost nothing traded. So there was nobody for them to sell to. Probably not what they wanted to see happen. So what I think again happens is they try this. Let's take it sideways, see if we can get some people to try to short it, and then we'll break through. But we'll see how it plays out. I'll watch the order book here and see, if we start chewing through this, we'll probably pop up. I don't know how far we'll go, but I don't know. Just mostly noting the fact that, again, nobody was buying the highs. I'm going to pause it and just see how this plays out over the next hour or so. They continue to pull the bids, right? So they'll flash. I mean, like again, I've seen 11,000 bid, plus, and then as it pulls down a little bit, those bids just start disappearing, and it pulls it back. And then these bigger offers over here, are not moving, and I think they would love to unload that, but we'll see. Again, things change quickly, but just noticing a few things, that these bids aren't holding, and yet the offers are. So could we run out of buyers? Did we run out of buyers? I don't know. We will see. Okay, so far so good. That all-time high there on AVAX, which was unable to attract any buying, so far has proven to be the high. So they were unable to unload there, and so I think they were greatly disappointed in the fact that there was nobody to unload their position to. So I think that's why we got this pullback here. So we'll see how this thing follows through over the next little while, but that for sure was a signal that a lack of buyers were around, and a lack of short interest. So again, they're going to have to try and make this thing look weak, or do what they need to in order to attract some short sellers, because if they want to unload at highs, that's what they're going to need. Otherwise, they're going to just sell it where it's at. So either way, we'll just let it do its thing. I continue to be short at the moment. We'll see if those people that had a bunch of AVAX at highs want to get more aggressive and sell at lower prices. So I'll go ahead and just stop it here for now. Okay, so the pullback continues. It's been about 45 minutes or so, or an hour later. Pullback continues on AVAX. So far, that high has proven to be at least a short-term all-time high for AVAX, and the signal was the lack of buyers at all-time highs. So I'm short it, and I'm gonna hold it and see if it has some follow-through to the downside. So that's that. I'll end this video here and upload it.